My name is Marie, and this is my story. I grew up with two loving parents. My father was very involved in my life and was the person that I looked up to. When I entered my early teens, I became rebellious toward my parents and put God out of my life. I had my own plans and wanted to do things my way. When I was 13, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and this shocked my family because he was active and healthy, and we didn't understand why this would happen. My mom believed that God was going to heal him, and she prayed fervently for him, but I didn't really pray for him because in my mind, he wouldn't die. Fathers don't die and leave their children, and he would live to be old and gray, so no worries. A year later, to our shock, my dad died. And the day he died, a huge part of me died. It was like the carpet had been pulled out from underneath my feet, and all my hopes and dreams shattered into a million irreparable pieces. A hole developed inside me where fear and regret dwelled. I felt fear because the dad who was always there for me wasn't there anymore. I couldn't run to him, and I couldn't tell him that I loved him, and I had regret because I didn't pray for him, and what I thought was important in life, which was my way, wasn't important at all. And this time, I took God off the shelf and was serious about having him in my life. But as the years went on, I tried to grow in my walk with God, but I couldn't get past the grief of losing my dad and the fear. It was a monster that controlled me, and even though my mom encouraged me and prayed for me, I couldn't forgive myself. I was ashamed that I couldn't change or grow out of this. One evening, I was reading my Bible and became attacked by fear. A thought came to me, just end your life. You're going to be like this the rest of your life. I didn't want to die, and I didn't want to leave my family, but I didn't want to live like this. I felt hopeless, so I got a gun and I got alone in the house, and as I prepared the gun, I began to cry and ask God, is there hope for me? I can't forgive myself. How can you forgive me? I had my Bible in my hand and the gun in the other hand, and when I raised the gun to my head, I accidentally dropped my Bible, and when it hit the floor, it opened. I knelt down in front of it, intending to pull the gun's trigger, but a verse popped out to me, and it was Isaiah 26:12-15. Lord, grant us peace, for all we have and are has come from you. O Lord, once we worshipped other gods, but now we worship you alone. Those we served before are dead and gone, and never again will they return. You came against them and destroyed them, and they are long forgotten. Oh, praise the Lord. He's made our nation very great and widened the boundaries of our land. That got my attention. It never crossed my mind that God would speak to me like that. And as I reread those verses, I began to understand that I was forgiven. My past and all that it contained, even where I felt like I had failed, was dead and gone. God was ready and waiting to widen the boundaries of my life. He wasn't mad at me, and I wasn't a failure in his eyes. In that moment, light came bursting into the tunnel that I was in, and hope rose on the inside of me. I put the gun away. Now I had a new life to live. And a month later, when in my quiet time, I heard God speak to me clearly, and he said he was setting me free from all fear, and they would not be able to return to me. And from that moment on, I have been free from fear. And it's been 5 years, and I'm completely free.